What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. It's your boy Leskuzzy, aka. I don't know why I keep saying aka, bro. I really don't know why I say that, bro. It's weird. But today we got. Um, is it crazy that I didn't know that Philly had the drill scene, like drill music? Is it crazy? I'm just asking. It's an honest question. I didn't know that Philly had drill music. Uh, Maybe because I live in Northeast. That's why. But we got today we got the story of Philly Drill, one of the wildest cities scenes in America. Hey, yep, that's one thing. The perception that Philadelphia is a brotherly, brotherly love, that shit is cap. Sorry, but that is cap. There ain't no brotherly love here. The only brotherly love that we have is that, and sometimes we don't even love that team. That's it, the Philadelphia Eagles. But let's get into this video. And people I know some of y'all gonna be like, how you didn't know that you had drill music? Bro, I live in Northeast Philly. The crime rate here is super low. Not that low, it's not like non existent, but it's super low. Right? Most of the crimes that happen in the city is up down in West Philly, downtown, or North Philly, South Philly. I would say South Philly, really, do it. Yeah, most every area. But in Northeast Philly, this is like way it's not where I live at. It's way like Torresdale and them. That's a whole Philly. It's like Torresdale and them. That's where you kinda that's where you see most of the crime. And we hardly see it, bro. So but I would let you know, ain't no brother alive in the city though. That's one thing. Like the perception that we are brotherly love when you come to the city, it's we will love you. Nah, we will hate you until you prove that you're worthy for the love. But without further ado, y'all know what to do. Drop a like, subscribe if you're new, and I'll see. Subscribe if you're new. Leave a comment in the comment section and suggestion on what y'all want to do next. I'm gonna say this. After this video is 19 and 22 minutes long. 19 minutes and 22 seconds long. After this video, I'm thinking about it depends on how big the people are they're saying is. If it's like, we just covering it because the crime rate in Philadelphia is high in 2023, I think. Oh, whenever this video came out, I want to say it's 2023, right? This video came out in 2023, right? Yes, 9 months ago. So it's like it came out in 2023. So because of the crime rate was high and we just call it drill music, yeah. But if it's a good amount of people that a good amount of emotion on these people, I might react to them. So without further ado, yeah, I already say that, but I've been talking for a lot. Let's get into this video.
Brotherly love now facing a nearly 12% increase in homicides from January 1st to late November.
This year,
So it started
per capita,
in
we have someplace worse than Chicago, okay? Where is it? It's called Philadelphia.
Philly is
Was that DJ Academics talking?
like damn near the murder capital now. It's always been crazy, but it seems like it's as worse as it's ever been.
You know, in Philly last year, almost 600 people were killed. How much does rap have to do with that and Instagram?
I say 75% of that.
Do you feel like you're the most hated right now?
I know I'm the most hated. Niggas really deal with like pain when they lose their homies and shit. So, that shit like a mixture of pain, you feel me? And just wanting to be something, looking up to a certain group of people. So, I don't know.
To be honest, bro, I probably done lost like 19, bro. No bullshit, bro.
Tonight, a tragic milestone as we mark 500 lives lost to violence across the city of Philadelphia so far this year, and there are still 36 days left in 2021.
Oh yeah, 2021, we were the Wild Wild West.
Over the past decade, drill has become a worldwide phenomena, spreading to major cities across the world. In recent years, one scene in particular has been drawing a lot of comparisons to the original Chicago scene. London and New York have two of the most famous drill movements outside of Chicago. But both of these cities have very strict laws around firearms, and New York has the highest police presence.
I thought drill music only was in New York and the UK, but it looks like we have drill music in Philly. Okay, let's get into this.
Presence of any place in the world. Chicago drill was partly a result of the fact that it was like the Wild Wild.
Who are the three people who were talking in the beginning of the video? I want to know. Are they going
West when it came to committing crimes? When it comes to the policing style in the city, Philadelphia very closely mirrors Chicago, and this has allowed Philly drillers to wreak destruction over the past couple years. The drill movement kicked off around 2019, and the homie rate spiked in 2020. It's unlikely that drill was the sole reason behind this jump, but it has definitely played a large role in instigating the violence. The scene is still relatively underground, but there are a lot of rappers buzzing with music videos over 1 million views. The music is literally tied to the things going on in the streets, and many of the rappers are the same ones doing the hits, then going and rapping about it in songs. And the craziness of the situation has drawn fans in to watch the story unfold in real time. So in this video, we'll take a look at the story of Philly drill. Before we get started, these videos do take a lot of time to research and put together, so if you haven't, please consider hitting the subscribe button. Now let's get into the video. When outsiders think of Philadelphia, they think of the generic branding the city receives from television, like being the city of brotherly love or the home of Rocky and Philly cheesesteaks. But for decades, the city has been a rough and violent place. This violence dates back to its early days as a major city in the United States. The city has faced challenges related.
Philly is the trenches, bro. I don't think there's no. Everywhere you go, I think the only nice place that you can say, okay, really looks nice is Northeast, where I live at. But everything else, bro, is the trenches, bro. But Northeast is because we got a university near us, Holy Family. We got people not of this skin. This is where most of them stay. If you're not this, most of the people with that not of this skin color, that's where they stay. So there's a lot, yeah. But we have our own violence there in schools. But hey, man,
early days as a major city in the United States, the city has faced challenges related to crime and violence for decades, particularly in certain neighborhoods characterized by poverty, illegal substances, and gang activity. Factors such as the lack of economic opportunities and the easy availability of firearms have contributed to the constant violence in the city.
It's so easy to get a firearm.
It was these tough conditions that produced plenty of musical talent, going back as far as the 80s when Will Smith came out as a rapper, through the 90s with groups like State Property, The Roots, and Major Figures,
all from West Philly.
The 2000s with artists like Cassidy, ARAC, and Meek Mill, and the mid-10s when Lil Uzi and PNB Rock came out with different sounds
West Philly,
representing the
Southwest,
new age of Philly.
PNB Rock.
With the transition from the days of the dark, aggressive sound of Beanie Siegel to the fun, melodic Uzi sound, an outsider might think this was a reflection of the city getting less rough, and to an extent, that
I like the melodic sound. Lil Uzi, we'll put PNB in there. We'll put Now Too Rare and Philly Goats and the whole what they do with the dancing. We have that side, but most of the Touré came from North. I would say I don't know what he claims, but he is from Northeast though, because I went to school. Touré is like the homie, but most rappers that most people know like Uzi, Meek Mill, Cassidy, Gilly, all came from the north, you know, North Philly and West. I don't think hardly only person power who came from Northeast who is emotion is too rare that
Would
I
be
know
true.
of. I
The
don't know.
crime rates did experience a decline from the 90s to the mid 10s, but violence still remained a significant issue in many areas. And in 2020, all this progress would be erased and the homie rate would skyrocket
Bro, we were
again.
in the house.
And just like in the 90s, this new wave of violence would have a hip hop movement to accompany it. And this movement was Philly drill. One of the first rappers from this new era of Philly music was Leaf Ward, a West Philly native. In
So
28,
that's Leaf Ward. He's from Philly. Oh yeah. I think I heard of Leaf Ward. I think I had like one song or two. I won't say he has a two. I won't say he has a song with Sue Surf on the one of Sue Surf album. I'm a better rap fan. I listen to more Sue Surf album. That's probably my my Spotify wrap up last year was Sue Surf was my number one artist because I listened to Sue Surf a lot in 2023. He's part of. I think he has a song called "Victory Laps" with Sue Surf, where Sue Surf said he had a conversation with me, asking him how you see himself in 5 years. He could not answer him. He's on the song. So that's, and I think one of my friends likes Philly Ward, Leaf Ward, was put it like another song with him and Sue Surf. I think Prex and Paranoia. So I never seen his face. So this is my first time seeing his face. But the two songs or the one song I listened to, he's actually dope.
18, he dropped music was Leaf Ward,
I thought he was
a
from
West
Jersey.
Philly native. In
He's
2018,
from
he dropped
West.
a song called They
I
Forgot.
told you.
It ended up taking off on SoundCloud and convincing him to take music seriously. They Forgot 2 was his first song with a music video, and this record also saw a lot of success. And Leaf continued to drop consistently and establish himself on the scene. Going into 2019, the Philly scene really took off, and several West Philly artists dropped songs that went on to pass 1 million views. The biggest story of the entire year was Sim Santana, a West Philly rapper who dropped a song called Flexin' and Flashin' in April of 2019. The song immediately began taking off, racking up 100,000 views in a matter of days.
I don't know what happened to it.
The whole summer, the song continued to blow up, taking Sim Santana from being unknown to
in 2020, the job I work now, when I first got there, one of the my coworkers told me that she knew him from where he lived, where she like lives. They're like, she said she grew up around like with his brothers or somebody. I forgot what she said, but I remember she said something that she knows him.
All summer, the song continued to blow up, taking Sim Santana from being unknown to the hottest underground artist in Philadelphia. Sim was a part of a neighborhood called D4M, and there were two other rappers in the group called Sloan and Sciano. The three of them collaborated frequently, so after Sim blew up, they quickly began to take off as well. Around the same time Sim and D4M were blowing up, more West Philly rappers were seeing success as well. Up into 2019, Lil Bucks and One Mir were relatively unknown. Then in April, they dropped a song called We Spinnin'. They ended up blowing them up, racking up several 100,000 views. They continued the motion, dropping We Spinnin' 2 a month later. Then they teamed up with Sloan and Sciano on a record.
So I think I'm gonna react. The first song we're gonna react to is We Spinnin'. Or we're gonna start with okay, you know what? We'll start with Leaf Ward. They Forgot, since he said They Forgot was Leaf Ward was one of the first people to start the movement. So we're gonna start with with Leaf Ward. Then we're gonna go with Sam Santana and Scan and them. So I think we already figured it out. After this video, we starting a Philly drill marathon. So let's go.
The motion, dropping We Spinnin' 2 a month later. Then they teamed up with Sloan and Skiano on a record called Come Outside that also did numbers.
Okay.
So in 2019, Sim Santana, D4M Sloan, and Skiano, Lil Bucks, and One Mir all joined Leaf Ward as the faces of the new movement in Philly.
So
On a smaller scale, an artist called Young Liv, aka Livy, also got a buzz in the city after dropping a song called Dead Ops that took off.
damn.
But his buzz wasn't as big as D4M or Lil Bucks and Mir. Unfortunately, later in 2019, Lil Bucks would end up getting booked and have to sit in jail for several months. And for the next couple years, he would continue to find himself in and out of jail, slowing his career down. In 2020, Sim Santana and the other D4M rappers' crazy buzz from 2019 began to die down. Then in July, the group experienced tragedy when Skiano had his life taken at the young age of 18.
Ooh.
D4M would never reach the heights they saw at the top of the Philly scene in 2019, but throughout 2020, more big names made their way onto the Philly scene. One of the biggest names to come out this year was OT7 Kwani. He didn't have a breakout hit, but all throughout the year his music was taking off. One of his biggest early songs making noise was Dead Rappers. He was also featured on a popular Lil Bucks and One Mir song called Halftime. Kwani continued dropping, remaining consistent, and by the end of the year, he was the second biggest underground artist behind Leaf Ward.
Oh,
Kwani was part.
So he put himself consistently dropping, so he became the second. And a Leaf Ward. That was crazy. Sim Santana, Lil Bucks, Leaf Ward, Kwani. So these are the top four. These are the Mount Rushmores, right? So, well, we'll say the top four. And Leaf Ward is he started it. Leaf Ward started the movement, and he, all right. But Sim Santana had the most, interest of it. He had the most, fame out of all four of them. Oh, he reached the most fame. All right. That's
Second biggest underground artist behind Leaf Ward.
okay.
Kwani was part of a neighborhood alliance called Zoo Gang, and this group had another prominent rapper called Poundside Pop. Pop initially blew up in 2017 off a song called OSS that was similar to the melodic style P&B took to the mainstream around that time.
Yeah.
Pop's music had remained melodic, but he still talked about violence and beef like all of the other rappers in the new Philly movement. He and Kwani would team up frequently to put on for Zoo Gang and take shots at their ops. Zoo Gang beefed with another neighborhood alliance called Black Flags, and this group had several rappers. One of the most known was Leskuzzy. He had a few songs, but he got his name from being active in the streets, and this had led to him being one of Zoo Gang's most hated ops. In July of 2020, they were able to get to him and claim his life. And after his passing, he became one of the main people the Zoo rappers dissed.
Damn.
Shy had been a part of a set called NLB under the Black Flags umbrella, but the main hood in Black Flags was Blumberg, which was the home to rappers like Blumberg G's and Blumberg Eared.
Wow.
Blumberg was allied with a group called 5 Up, and this group had a rapper called 5 Up Newski. Newski, G's, and Eared collaborated frequently and built up a buzz in 2020, putting on for the Black Flags, and traded disses with Zoo Gang. The most successful rapper to come from Black Flags was Hood Tally. Hood Tally, known as GG at the time, was a rapper from the Germantown area of Philadelphia who started buzzing after dropping a song called Exotic in February of 2020. He continued his momentum, dropping more and more music videos, doing numbers, and he was also heavy on the social media antics, and constantly dissed and trolled his ops on Instagram. Hood Famous J was another rapper on similar timing with the dissing and social media antics. He was from an area called The Pit that beefed with D4M, and he dissed members from this group as well as their deceased often. In 2020, he started his career, quickly gaining attention. Despite all these new rappers coming out onto the scene, Leaf Ward remained the hottest, and early into the year, he dropped They Forgot 3, and it quickly ran up millions becoming not only his biggest song, but the biggest song to come out the Philly underground in years.
Wow.
Are you having trouble trying to keep up with your professor? You've got to try Otter. Here's how it works.
From the beginning of the new era to 2020, the main rappers had been established, along with multiple different sides of the many beefs going on, and disses were being traded back and forth. So all the requirements were there to classify what was happening as a drill scene. But 2021 was the first year people started to categorize everything going on in the city as a single movement. This was the first year people started using the term Philly drill, and channels began covering the beef going on. The most covered conflict was the war on the north side between Zoo Gang and Black Flags, with Zoo rappers like OT7 Kwani, Poundside Pop, NR Boer, and Diamond Street Keem going back and forth with Black Flag rappers like Hood Tally, 5 Up Newski, and Bloomberg G's and Ear. Lil Bucks was part of a group called O to the 4, also known as Campers, which was located in West Philly, but the group was clicked up with Zoo Gang and also had beef up in North Philly with Bloomberg and other Black Flags neighborhoods. O to the 4 also beefed with a hood in West Philly called YBC. Young Liv's neighborhood, 56th Street, aka Clappers, also had beef with YBC, so Bucks and Liv dissed them regularly. In 2021, YBC rappers like F5, Reek 1200, and J100 would begin rapping, becoming the voice for their side, dissing their rivals like O to the 4 and 56th Street. Meanwhile, also in West Philly, the beef between D4M and The Pit raged on, with Hood Famous J dissing often and Sloan and Sim Santana responding occasionally. The beefs between groups like the Zoo, Black Flags, D4M, The Pit, YBC, and O to the 4 were the main conflicts going on the music scene, but they were far from the only conflicts in the city. In 2021, would see the rise of another artist putting a spotlight on another conflict. G12za was a rapper from North Philly who initially began buzzing after dropping a song called Outside and began to take off in late 2020. He was part of a group called G12, closely allied with another neighborhood called M24, beefing with two hoods called LV and Parkside. Za had a completely different style from all the other Philly artists because he made slower melodic songs that were almost more singing than rapping, similar to Polo G's style. However, despite this singing melodic style, Za dissed his ops frequently, leading many to still classify him as a drill rapper. Going into 2021, he was showing potential, and throughout the year, he dropped big songs that got his name up in discussions. In April, he dropped a song called Gangsta Party that blew up, passing 1 million views, becoming his biggest song, and making him one of the biggest underground artists in the city. Gangsta Party also featured another rapper called NSU Shido. Shido was also from North Philly, but he was a member of the Black Flags. Similar to Za, Shido also had a melodic style that set him apart from most other Philly artists. From 2020, he had started to buzz, and in 2021, he and G12za had several big collaborations that took him to the next level. However, in September of 2021, Shido nearly lost his life one night when he was riding with a friend. Ops pulled up, firing into a car he was riding in, and hit him in the head twice.
Damn.
Miraculously, he would survive, but the friend he was riding with wasn't so fortunate. Shido ended up making a strong recovery and dropping a Pain song speaking on the whole experience, and his career continued to grow. Shido and G12za had found their own separate lane, but in 2021, the rest of the city was beginning to find a unified sound. Ever since 2019, Detroit had been on fire, and their sound had been spreading all across the country. In 2021, Philly rappers hopped on the wave. Up into 2021, new era Philly rappers had been rapping on the southern style simple piano beats popularized by Splurge and NLE Choppa. But in 2021, most Philly rappers turned towards the Detroit sound as their primary choice for beats, and this became the new sound of Philly drill. Going into 2022, rappers continued to get even more disrespectful, and even more new rappers began popping out. Early into the year, a North Philly rapper called Burke Street Man Man began buzzing. His songs like What the F Off the Map, and Get Over were doing numbers, and he appeared to have potential. Man was a part of the Zoo Gang and heavy into the beef.
Dang.
In May, he decided to take the disrespect to another level when he recorded one of the most disrespectful songs in Philly history, then shot the video in his ops hood. This move worked and got him the attention he was looking for, but just 3 days after it dropped, his ops would end up catching him and taking his life.
Damn.
A situation almost identical to what happened to Lil Mark almost 8 years prior when he dropped No Competition. After Man's passing, Hood Tally, Blumberg G's, and many of his other ops began dissing him regularly, and the situation generated a lot of attention, becoming one of the biggest stories of the year. Another big story in 2022 was the rise of YBC Duel. Many call YBC the most hated group in Philadelphia, and Duel began his rap career with the goal.
I didn't know. How do I even? I don't know that we. How did the whole haters person? I didn't know they existed. But hey man, like I said, I stay in the house, so I don't know what happens outside. I'm not outside. I don't go outside much, so I don't know shit. So hey, if what he's saying is true, hey man, what did you do, buddy?
To be the most hated rapper in the city.
Why?
From the beginning, he constantly dissed deceased members from all the groups YBC beefed with.
Dang.
He did so much that he literally gave himself the title Mr. Disrespectful. If you've seen any other videos about drill on this channel, you know that the fans gravitate towards dissing, and when there's already a poppin' drill scene, dropping super disrespectful songs is basically a cheat code.
Dang.
YBC Duel began his career dropping his first song in January of 2022, and by October he started blowing up after an extremely disrespectful song called So Many Names started going viral.
Damn.
He continued dropping regularly and ended the year as one of the biggest artists on the Philly drill scene. Duel collaborated frequently with rappers from other groups clicked up with YBC, and this helped to give shine to rappers like Cop Out Blick, FS The Bender, and Mir Pablo. YBC was blowing up on the music scene, but they were losing members the whole year. In May, they lost an up-and-coming rapper called Baby Ka. Then in June, they lost another called Da Fetty, and in December, a YBC rapper called J100, who was actually the founder of the gang, would end up getting his life taken.
Damn.
Also in December, O to the 4 was hit with an indictment that put 5 of their members behind bars. Around this time, they also decided to click up with the Clappers from 56th Street, as well as the Clappers from 7th Street in South Philly, and unite under the name CCK, which stood for Campers, Clappers, Clappers. From 2022 to 2023, not much changed. Leaf Ward, OT7 Kwani, Lil Bucks, G12za, YBC Duel, and Hood Tally continue to lead the scene. Hood Tally relaxed slightly on the disrespect, but Lil Bucks continued dissing heavily, and so did YBC Duel and the rest of his crew. Leaf Ward and OT7 Kwani were mainly focused on grinding and putting out good music. As always, the constant theme of violence continued in the city. Blumberg G's had been on the run since December of 2022 when he was charged for booming a Zoo member known as Lil Ranger. He had managed to avoid authorities for months, but in June of 2023, he became another name on the long list of Philly rappers who met the same fate. Then in July, a CCK rapper called Deke Loco also became a casualty of this never-ending cycle. This brings us to the present day. The Philly scene has seen a lot of chaos, destruction, and tragedy, leaving many grieving families. The music is thriving for now, but with the amount of attention rappers are getting, there's no telling who has indictments waiting around the corner. If they can stay alive and free, some of these rappers have the potential to touch the mainstream, but we'll just have to wait and see.
Alright. I don't even. Oh, okay. They're okay, man. Man, I don't know nothing much, man. But hey, that's what they say. Now we better. So this the first. I didn't know much about nothing what's happening here, and that shows you I stay in the house. I don't go outside that much. But hey, man, since what we saying this, we about to start the Philly Drill Marathon. So we're gonna start. We're gonna go with. He said Leaf Week, Lil Box, Leaf Ward, OT7 Kwani. Who else was in there? YB Duo, uh, Sim Santana. So we're gonna start listening to them a lot and see what happens. But without further ado, y'all know what to do. Drop a like and everything. Y'all let me know if anyone knows about anyone in Philly who knows what songs I should start reacting to on this Philly drip. Let them in the comments. Amen. I would do my research as well to see which songs I should react to first. But since we starting, we're gonna, let them in the comments, and we'll see you guys. I think with Live Forward, I might do the one with Surf because I already know. I already heard him. I might do the victory laps if it has a video. If it doesn't, I might see what I might do. They Forgot too, since that was his first song with the music video. Y'all let me know in the comment section what else y'all want to react to. But without further ado, I'm out. Peace.